All right, this is a private real-time Bitcoin update. This is going to explain a little bit of our algorithm too as to how we make buying and selling decisions for you. So hence the value. Without explaining the whole thing, it's kind of just hard to draw an arrow and say, hey, trust us, it's going to fall to here. So I'm going to have to give you some technical support answers. Now look, what was happening before Bitcoin fell right in here, before we created this M shape in here? What was happening is that we were starting to go parabolic again. We had this, these 2 points connect, and then we had this rise, which is fantastic. We're starting to go up here and then tighter, stronger, faster angle up this way. So we're starting to go parabolic, which would have taken us up to 12.3 easily. And then we had a dump. Now this dump should have, if the dump had stopped right about here, right about there, we'd still be parabolic because we'd still have a steeper angle than the previous angle, which is right there, you see? So, but we didn't stop there. We started dumping more, and we hit this line so many times, this trend line, this big, long, I should have colored it different. We hit it so many times that eventually it gave out and fell. Now, where it fell is what's important. Where it fell on an imaginary Fibonacci ratio point. So this orange line was drawn before this drop. This orange line was an imaginary Fibonacci line with a perfect ratio between this and this. So between these two lines, this would be a perfect fib ratio. And sure enough, we hit that orange line, which corresponds to a little bit higher price than this point, which now what that does is it creates a triangle. Now this triangle is going to allow for 1 or 2 or 3 more small bounces, but it's going to go boom, 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 doof. This is what's going to happen. So imagine a bouncy ball that's just lost all of its bounce. It's just going to go bounce, 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 bounce. So we're going to hit this line a couple times, pretty much guaranteed, 80%, 90% chance. We're going to hit this line, do another bounce. So you can sell, you may or may not be able to sell any higher than this. I mean, if all the big traders see the writing on the wall, they might just dump and it might just fall straight. But if they don't and the bulls do come in and buy up a little bit, you'll get a chance to buy right around this price. Let me note that down for you here. That's this price, 8179. So that's what we're hoping for, this bounce, and then up here or a little higher up here, maybe even up to $8,200 is where you might be able to get a buy. But that's actually starting to look a little doubtful because we're hitting this point again so many times. We're just kind of like drilling through this point. Look at the price right now, 8,027. We're hitting the same line 2-3 times. Normally it wicks and then goes all the way back up and doesn't hit that line for days, at least hours. But here we're hitting it twice. So the second arc and the third arc might just be totally compressed. It might just go and get totally compressed right into this one, what is this, 30-minute wick, which could happen, and then we drop immediately. Now, why don't we think we're going to drop any or bounce from here and go straight back up? Because two things. The height, you take this height and you add it to the bottom, and that's our target. You take that height and it takes us to 6986. 6986 is our target. But what about this triangle? Didn't we have a lot of support from this triangle? We did, up until this point. The triangle support only lasts about this long. It's like a magic spell that wears out after a while. So you take this and take a Fibonacci ratio of just about half, and that's about the length with which we have to fulfill. Bam. See that? Right there, perfectly, weirdly right there. So take this width and say we have just about half the time to actually go. Within this time, we should have gone up to 12,000. Bam, perfectly. We should have gone up to $12,300, but we lost our chance. We didn't do it within this time. So the effectiveness of this spell wears off. So now Now that this guy's out of the picture, we're only looking at this. It's going to drop to about here. But here's the trouble with that dropping to there. Yep, you didn't see that coming, did you? If we do drop to here and we get a nice bounce up to here, we're still going to fall, and we might actually create a head and shoulders. If we create a head and shoulders now, the target for this is disastrous. The target for this guy is going to be down here, which puts us at right around $5,400. That's why we said $5,400 was the target. Let me draw that in for you. So it's something like this. You notice how this is kind of like a chess game? You have to be able to see 4, 5, 6 moves in advance. That's the only way you're going to be able to plan. Okay, I'm going to short from here to here, I'm going to long from here to here, and then I'm going to short from here to here, and then I'm going to long from here to here or not. I'm going to stay out until we hit this line, and then I'm going to short from here to here, is how you make your profits. Now, all of this is conjecture right now. This is just a plan, and all of this could change depending on what our chess player opponent's next move is. Okay, now does that mean that oh, sorry about that, didn't pause the video. Okay, so this is gold. So does that mean that Bitcoin is dead? Let me show you gold's chart. Gold had 2 ETFs. One an Australian ETF here and an American ETF here. Notice what happened right before the ETF. We had a nice big pump. Now this doesn't look big in comparison to this, but believe me, this is big. This was what, 11, 12%? And then as soon as we hit that 11, 12% pump, we gave back almost all the profits. Lost about 7, 8%. So 70% of the profits are gone right there. Same here. We had a nice big pump. 11, 12%, which is really big for gold. That's about a 50 to 60% pump in Bitcoin land. And we gave it almost all back right there. And we started building a head and shoulders. So it looked even more, bearish until, bam, went straight up. So this looks like is what's happening right now. Bitcoin did its parabolic rise, and it'll break right back down to support and then do its real run. So right now it looks like this is the shoulder. This is the head shoulder of the Bitcoin bull run. And just wait until it gets back down to $5,000 to do a really nice, meaty, healthy long. While you're waiting for that to happen, gold is going to go up by this much. So that's going to be your bull trap for gold. It's going to go from $47 to $53. So that'll get you a nice 22%, 23% gain on gold. If you have over 10 Bitcoin of active investments, the smart thing to do is hire us. Bitcoin-funds-manager.com. We make these decisions, we make these trades for you 24 hours a day while it stays in your cryptocurrency exchange account. Your coins stay in your Binance account or Huobi, Bitfinex, Bittrex, Poloniex, Kraken account. And we trade it for you 24 hours a day so that you can